And you should be going.
Welcome back.
You waited for
welcome
an
back.
extra, like, 3 seconds just to make sure that it got in, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Christ almighty.
Welcome back, fuckers, to Currents of War. Midgeheim campaign set 15 years before Wizard School of Mysteries about the fun times known as the Fourth Goblin War, where everyone was happy and no one tragically lost father figures. Or just literal fathers and mothers. Anyways, last time on Currents of War, the gang trekked up to the mountains to see one last rumored hobgoblin or goblin or boogeyman village, and they found a bunch of strange Ruslovakian dragon fairies called Itavaruses. Probably mispronouncing that horribly. Biggest hurdle for the Wizard School of Mysteries audiobook ever becoming a thing is me having to pronounce words that I do not know how to pronounce. But we met these little Itavaruses. They were really cute. They were like 3 foot tall little dragon guys with little harmless fires on their tips of their tails, and they all spoke Ruslovakian Draconic, or Draconic Ruslovakian, however you want to parse it. Which no one else could parse, but eventually one of them did speak very broken Frankish, and told them about how they had a deal to give a tithe to a great and beautiful queen who lived in the Bramblewoods. Our heroes went to see this great and beautiful queen, and yep, she was a dragon. A normal, horrendously large, powerful dragon, who apparently attended Arthur's wedding in disguise as a human, but not well disguised enough for Arthur not to recognize her. Also clearly attended on the bride's side and was not here for the groom, which made the whole reunion very awkward. Our hero secured a deal so that people, goblins and humans alike, could use branches from the Bramblewood to create ashen stakes to deal with, any vampire problems, and just to ensure some safe travel and some help for the little Itavaruses so that way they don't get eaten by boars while they're in the woods. And all in all, it was a nice, chill session. Just like today will be, as our friends finally go to the Brior Marsh on their way to the goblin stronghold of Betelebel, which is run by a creature known as the Lady of Fright.
Absolutely nothing's gonna go wrong in this fucking marsh.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Do a travel roll!
That's
What
a
does the travel
D20.
roll entail?
D10.
D10.
I have to tell you what to roll, actually, because it goes bigger or smaller, and the bigger it gets, the worse it is for you, because it's a higher likelihood of you getting a random encounter. I believe... Through the book real quick, I got the page marked. Yeah, okay. Use a D12. If it's 6 or above, you have a random encounter. If it's below that, then you're safe.
Ooh,
You're safe.
look at my
That's
Right.
for you.
Right on the edge. Fuck yeah.
So you travel through the swamp, relatively uneventful. You know the way thanks to having plenty of fairies and a good map. And eventually you come to the stronghold of Betelebel.
North or south gate?
North. As you come to the north entrance of Betelebel, you notice something strange. There are these giant red amber crystals planted in the ground outside the gates. And as you approach them, you realize that there are humanoid figures inside. And the closer you get a good view of what's inside, and it's red caps. Completely encased in amber, still alive, their eyes moving and watching at you, their jaws trying to snap but unable to because they're sealed shut in there like in resin.
Is it similar to the bloodstone that Duck's stolen from Redcaps before?
It's something similar, but it's not quite the same. These, mainly because it's not from them, it's something that's trapped them.
Yeah.
All right.
well, that's interesting.
There are dozens of these red caps all on display by the gates in these giant amber prisons, I guess you could say, or tombs.
Well, I suppose this spares us from having to inform them of the red caps. They seem to handle themselves quite well.
Looks like they know.
Wait a minute. Didn't we see something like this when we fought that, the troll? Big, not troll. Big,
The
no
monkey?
one?
That's what I thought too. But it's
This appears to be something else.
Listen, there's only so many assets in the
Yeah, that's
incarnate map maker.
well, it's a blood crystal associated with red cap, so that's even more reason to ask.
Yeah.
If the Gnome
If-
King was
if-
still around, I'm sure he would insist those were just rubies! Nothing
Do you
evil
think
about them!
these, do you think these have them trapped, or are they incubating them?
Walks up to it, knocks his knuckle against it.
You can see it looks pissed off. It's not able to do very much because again, fully encased. But like its cheek, like its eye is twitching.
Looks
Though I
pretty
think
mad.
they're trapped.
Phew. Well, then these guys got it figured out.
Is the sun out?
The sun is out, but you're in a swamp, so it's not really breaching through the tree line that far.
Okay.
There's not a lot of direct sunlight here.
Their compulsion to hide during the day is probably driving them nuts, though, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which of us should go first? Perhaps the
Duck walks up
Grumbuge?
to the. Yeah, Duck is already walking up to the gate and just kicks it a few times. Not hard, but she's got the iron boots.
Goblin Trooper pops their head out, looks at you, and sticks a hand out and says, "Eat this."
The garlic.
It is a clove of garlic.
Scarfs it down.
Enter, and a door opens.
Yeah, we are actually here because of these things. We need to speak to the Lady of Fright. Points at the crystals.
He nods and motions for you to come in.
Okay. Yes, I haven't seen it yet, so anything is a spoiler.
Yeah. Some of us aren't cool, and we haven't seen the movies yet. Even though we
Reed
really
will
want
pla-
to.
Reed will gladly pop a fucking clove of garlic in his mouth.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I'll eat that.
So yeah, everyone who willingly
Yeah.
pops a clove of garlic in their mouth.
Wait, so could sorry, it's tangent. Could a Mudman be used as a mobile guard in like the dirt golems and Dungeon Meshi? Because I'm just imagining later Sir Reed's going to be sprouting a garlic goatee or something.
I think you would have to specifically build the Mudman for the task.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the plants would steal vital nutrients from Mudmen. Because Mudmen aren't perpetual motion machines like most magic golems. All homunculi need some sort of sustenance.
Yeah.
So if a Mudman were to, grow plants on its back, its metabolism would have to be altered to allow for that. Otherwise, the plants would just parasitize the Mudman until it dies.
Mm-hmm. Well, that just
All right.
sounds like I need to eat more.
You enter the swamp town of Betelebel. Places of note. There's a thing with huge signs in various Frankish languages that says the Fear Facer. There is a florist with lots of fairy plants planted outside. There is an inn in case you need to recover any IP or what have you.
I love the name.
And then, the Bed Underside Inn. And then there is the Palace of Dread, which is, probably where you're going to find this Lady of Fright.
That is an impressive piece of architecture pointing to the Palace of Dread, considering this is all swamp.
I actually never showed up here. I kind of skirted the swamp when I went south.
I'm just happy they didn't freak out when there was a skull under the map when I ate the garlic. I thought they were going to be like, "That's an undead," and kick me out of the city.
You still ate the garlic.
I still ate the garlic.
Did the garlic disappear when he ate it, or did it just drop into the floor?
So, okay, if you were a skeleton, which is a homunculus in the shape of a human skeleton, made out of human bones and other things, what would happen when you chew and eat something is that as soon as it goes down past your jawbone, it disappears, and is then consumed in a magic process that doesn't quite make any sense to describe because it's magic.
Metaphorical
But-
digestion.
Since Art is a corporeal ghost, which I believe is Phantom in my ghost thing.
Or
I thought we
it's a
said
phantom.
Revenant, but
No. Revenants are specifically
right, zombies.
Romero zombies.
oh, gotcha. Then yes, I would be a phantom.
You are a phantom, because you are a ghost. You are a spirit of the dead that is, in this case, because you are able to walk the earth, in what is essentially your old body, with a lot of ectoplasmic tinkering. You are a phantom. It's a corporeal, ambulatory ghost.
It's a phantom.
yeah. We've occasionally people in chat have called you a revenant, which I don't want to get too anal on terms, because it's really only important for me and my bookkeeping. But yeah, technically, in Midgheim terms, you would be a phantom.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gotcha.
In which case, you don't need sustenance, so I think the food would just roll down your esophagus, and if you don't have one of those anymore, it would just fall out of your throat.
Well, I assume with the covering of the handkerchief, I think I eat it. It's just sitting somewhere inside Art
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, it's just
What
rolling
sort of
around
fairies are
somewhere in
these?
there, giving your bones a
Oh.
distinct aroma.
Buggins?
You
Boogies?
see some Buganes, which
Buganes.
are Sicilian fairies. Big, long, amphibian, serpentine creatures that are particularly keen at making clothing out of their shed skin.
Which I
Reed will
think
flag
some
one
of
of
us
them
have.
down. Oh there, good
Doesn't-
fellow.
Yes.
What's that structure over there?
Oh, that's the Fear Facer. You go to there to face your fears. It's very fun.
Is it now?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. I love them.
I didn't realize you fairies were such a colorful folk.
Wait until we take you to Fairyland proper.
God, I can't go to Fairyland again.
Well, technically, Duck has to break her curse, so she's dragging you all with her.
Not after last time.
Let's get a lay of the land, and then we can see the sights, as it were.
Yeah, before we do anything too hectic, I need a resupply here.
A fine idea.
Oh,
Alright, we're
yeah. How
staying
long
at the-
until Flavian's project is complete? The little homunculus?
I think we got it done last session, actually. Because we had the help of all the goblins.
Oh, yeah.
Past the florist, you see an enormous bugbear, very carefully tending to these strange exotic plants. There's some flowers with eyeballs in the center of their petals, others whose petals form snapping little mouths.
How
Oh, these are just delightful. My wife would have loved these.
You know, Charles would have loved to visit this.
Oh, thank you. I do a very good job taking care of the flowers.
Yes,
The
You're in a
florist.
bugbear town. Everyone's gonna sound like a fucking muppet.
everyone's
Uh-huh.
going to sound like a fucking puppet.
By the way, TT, just real quick, are any of the ponds in town like a nursery, or look like to be a nursery?
Yeah. It's mainly, this is a bugbear town, but bugbears are perhaps the most accepting group of fairies. So it's the most diverse fairy town you've been to so far. There are lots of goblin nurseries. There's even a couple of troll nurseries amongst the various ponds. There are orcs. There are, fairies of all stripes here.
Grugan is looking around, just, cautiously if anybody asks him about anything.
Luckily, no one seems to have recognized you right here, Grugan.
Good.
Yet.
So there's no...
Do you need some herbalism?
What do you have on
Mine.
offer?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a look.
Well, there is the sickness going in the swamps outside. So I've been working on this. And he brings out a sack and he pours out a little bit of a sort of strange sparkly powder. I call it the panacea powder. It helps with symptoms of various diseases and toxins. It is very good for healing you. So it's a strange mixture of ground up flowers, roots, and fungi. It combats disease and toxins. It costs 1 IP to use in combat to heal all status conditions and regain 50 HP.
Ooh.
Alright.
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
That is a panacea.
I also have these strange gourds I've been cultivating, and he shows you this very bizarre orange gourd, which has a naturally built sort of face of like creases inside or full-on holes. And he bops the root, and inside it fills with flame. I
Take
call
two
it
of
a
each.
pumpkin because you give it a pump and then.
Oh, that's a lovely name. I love it.
These are gourd greeters. They're like a big jack-o'-lantern that you throw at people. You spend 1 IP to do it, and it does 70 fire damage and gives them the shaken condition.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 of each, and we're just gonna call it good. I think for me.
I've also been working on this, and he brings out a big staff, with like a hollow gourd for the head of it, that's been reinforced with some metal around it.
love
And
the
inside, when you give it a shake, it's filled with all sorts of healing powders and salves. It's designed to counter miasma and other diseases. So basically, this is a weapon that you use as a staff. It deals light damage. But its big thing is that when it hits a foe, if their next attack does poison damage, they take half the damage themselves. It turns poison attacks against the attacker.
That would be good against the red caps.
I think Duck might want that, yeah.
It does light damage to boot.
The
And
miasma.
And I do need to make sure like my weapons I use are arcane for my spells, so
I'm gonna take
Oh,
a couple
nice.
pinches of the panacea powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monchair will take 5 of each of the panacea powder and the gourd greeter.
dang. Oh god, that's gonna be such a visual Moncher flying around, raining down goblin bombs.
Mhm. It's over, Spider-Man.
You're too late, Spider-Man. Weed has been legalized. But
You're
you're
the
the
one
one
who's getting
getting
smoked.
smoked, Garvey.
Ah! Now,
He's
just
fucking
now imagining
Christ.
George Garston looming over you. It's not always about the money, Moncher.
I swear if he goes on about the Mets one of these pumpkin bombs is going in its jaw.
A fine arrangement of wares. Good florist.
Thank you. Well, we have to do what we can. Lots of nasties out in the swamps, and the water's coming in all poison.
Not the same as the red caps, then?
Yeah, you have any idea where that might be coming from and why? I'm guessing it's a new thing.
It is. We think it might be, well, not to scare you. We like having visitors, but it might be a Nakalevi.
Of course, it's a Nakalevi.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh yeah, we did meet the child one.
Yeah, we got lucky that one was just a kid.
Yeah.
I'm up for a challenge if you are.
There's a grimace on Krugen's face, like... I probably know this one.
Oh, could you tell them to leave? Or find a different part of the swamp? We sort of need the water.
If I can get them to leave, I will.
Well, thank you. And without asking, he gives you a hug.
Okay.
They're very built for hugs.
I'll hug back.
They are, actually.
I know that they like hugs, so...
Yeah. Bugbears are very cuddly. They can look very scary, but most of them are big softies.
Yeah, like, look at it. It's just a big round ball of fur.
It looks very nice to hug in the first place, so...
Mm-hmm.
Gurgen, on the other hand, would not be so nice to hug being a boar. It'd be very bristly.
Also, having a lot of spikes on the armor doesn't help.
No.
That too. Friend Flavian, it appears over there you can resupply.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Should we meet with the lady before we rest for the night? Or rest up and
I'm
meet
in
her
top shape.
when we're refreshed?
I don't know about you, but I am in peak condition.
Actually, yeah.
I am...
Feeling healthy, I just need more supplies.
Yes, especially if you were to venture out into the swamp to resolve these issues. I wonder if any of the fairies are regarding Duck with the boots.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that. Because she's not hiding them.
You get a couple of eyebrow raises, but not a lot are stopping, because exiled goblins wearing metal boots and hobgoblins for that matter, came very big into vogue after, the reign of Bandit King Iron Shoes. And there are a lot who copy the look without necessarily having shoes made of actual iron. So there are some who are like, oh, Iron Shoes fan, but they don't necessarily know that those are the Iron Shoes. This is a pre-internet, pre-newspaper era where Iron Shoes wore Iron Shoes. You don't necessarily know the make and model.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, it's like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine costume being mistaken for a cosplayer.
Yeah. Pretty good, but you're too tall.
Fun fact, Reed has no money. Not a single penny.
Like a true
I don't know I can't remember what I spent it on. What was that?
Like a true knight errant, you're a homeless broke bum.
Yes. Money is to be put back into the economy. Into the hands of the people.
If you need me to cover you, Reed, just let me
I
know.
made people. Me and Flavian are people.
Do you intend to give it to other people?
For goods and
I mean,
services.
when we need to purchase things.
Then
I
there
just
is no
spent
issue.
that. Look at how much we just spent at the forest.
Yeah. Call Reed the Hedge Knight because that's where he's gotta live.
In settings where like adventuring parties are like a semi-common thing, I just imagine towns being like, "Oh, adventurers are coming to town. Make sure we fleece them for everything they've got. They're loaded."
Literally a plot point in Wizard School of Mysteries is that an entire town lives to fleece wizard students of their money.
I mean, that's what happens at Hallow Hall, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You don't imagine anything too remarkable here at the end? Aside
No.
from adorable little goblets.
Yep.
Polygobs, right?
Polygobs are baby goblins. These ones might be hobgoblins, which are just goblins but smaller.
Small.
Yeah. So you have you freshen up and restore all your stat stuff at the Bed Underside Inn. And then yeah, where do you want to go next?
Let us proceed to the Palace of Dread.
I'm just getting a little concerned because we were told to come ask this lady if she'd take in a nickel of V, and this town's already struggling with a nickel of V.
Well, this
It might make that pitch harder.
The knuckle of E that's bothering them will probably leave pretty soon, one way or the other.
Do I have to make an insight check to pick up this is an implication of we're about to go murk this guy, or is this just a
If you
okay?
wanna, you could just ask him
I don't-
outright.
I don't feel you need to insight check to get what Grugan's laying down.
I think this would be the
Look how
first.
bloodthirsty we've heard Grugan be.
I think this would be the point when Art like puts a hand on Grugan's shoulder and he's like, "Trust me, I'm glad I got to watch one of the dumbest people in our regime accidentally stab my old military unit leader. They're all assholes."
I understand. I see your point, friend Arthur, but one cannot blame the children for the malice of adults.
Oh well, no, not the children. But the way that she's
this
talking,
queen is
the way that-
reasonable.
well, the queen's become be reasonable, but I'm thinking Grugan's looks like I got a little bit of beef with this Knuckle of E. I know that look because I wore that look too fucking often back when I was alive.
So with Duck having known Grugan the longest, even though that's not really that long, honestly, does Duck get the sense that this is tied to Grugan's past because of how tight-snouted Grugan's been about that?
I would say it's a reasonable inference to make. You don't get like a firm yes, but it's like
Mhm.
that's quite possibly it. Yes.
Okay. Oh, hey, more blood amber.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's plenty more red caps on this side of the city as well. It's almost like on every entrance they've decided to display several trapped red caps for some reason.
Telling the rest of them, stay out or end up like this.
Yeah, a little bit. It might be the equivalent of putting some heads on pikes.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to frighten
Get
them,
out.
even though they don't really have the capability of being frightened.
Reed looks up, and as we enter the ominous shadow of the palace, I won't lie. It is indeed an impressive bit of architecture, but it does look every bit as evil as I was led to believe goblins were.
She goes by the name of Fright. She has to keep up appearances. the Lady of Fright.
Some
Yeah, it kind of
fairies
sticks
are,
out in this area.
Yeah, some fairies are dramatic bitches. What can we say?
Mm-hmm.
As you have this conversation, a woman steps out who at first you think might be an orc, but then you realize the features aren't quite right. She has, goat-like horns on the back of her head, feet that are built sort of like an ox's and sort of like a lion's, fur and sort of almost deer-like markings in terms of like different colors of fur, but just all this mishmash of various mammalian features on a vaguely humanoid body. And she steps out, clutching a book to her chest, looking very, serene, as if there's like a little song going in her head while she's walking. And when she notices all of you, she stops and does a little curtsy and then moves to walk on by.
Is that Edmund's granddaughter?
Descendant of a different furry.
Yeah.
Same curse, different prince.
Was that a fairy?
Grugan would have returned her curtsy with a slight bow of his own before she walked by. He's like, I don't think so.
When you do your own bow, she takes notice, and you can't see blush beneath fur, but there's a little bit of interest in her look before she walks on by.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I forgot we got this. The acting training.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have that we can change our glamours to look like nobility.
Well, you are nobility, Duck. You don't have to change that anymore.
Yeah, that
Have you
seemed
heard
like
of-
a funny girl.
Maybe it's the daughter of Fright? Shrugs, goes
DZ,
walking
no.
up to the palace.
DZ, you stop that.
A ham hock.
So you stand before the Palace of Dread, an enormous stone structure.
I'm being bullied.
But Bacon's got them shaking.
I'm being bullied in the comments.
You've had it too good for too long.
Maple Samurai's
You-
doing it too at the same fucking time.
A two-pronged assault. It's a pincher maneuver.
How dare all of you?
I mean,
think there's
you
something there I hadn't seen before.
you created this
God.
huge silver fox of a pig man, and then when his glamour comes on, he suddenly turns into a deep-voiced twink.
Mm-hmm.
You were doomed from the get-go.
I didn't choose the twink for him. The rest of you did that for me.
It was very funny. It was impossible not to choose that.
And I'm sure that you definitely didn't leave. You haven't been leaving impressions on every woman you've met.
Oh no. You can't do this to me. I'm too asexual.
Too late.
Okay, anyway.
You stand before the Palace of Dread, a giant stone structure that essentially looks like if a bunch of people who made like classic Gothic cathedrals got together and said, "Hey, what if we made the most fucked up one of these you could imagine?" Just really went to town. Lots of sharp angles and points. Just something that really looked like Satan would live there. That's what the Palace of Dread looks like. And
My
as you
wife will
approach
love this
its
building.
steps, there is not a greeter who comes to open the door. Instead, the doors ominously creak open to you as a red light emerges from out of them. And there's even some fucking fog that billows out as they open.
Gods, my wife would have loved this.
I mean, like Grugan said,
Most foreboding.
Committing to
It's
her
cost a
bit.
fortune to maintain this place.
Well, it's most of the light show and the fog is probably just her. So,
yep. Duck walks in.
yeah, I'll walk in. I've
You
seen
enter.
worse.
you enter and experience bugbear architecture. Bugbears, like labyrinthine structures with tight claustrophobic walls that twist and turn almost uncomfortably, with lots of crevices and hidden spaces and trap doors and things for which they can jump out and spook. Which is to say, they build all their buildings like they're making a fright maze. And as you travel through the Palace of Dread, every now and then a bugbear does just pop out and go, and then right back where it came from, disappearing.
Most
I-
sensible.
If I make it through to the end of this and I get to go see my wife and I get a little bit more time, I'm bringing my wife here. She'll love this place.
You travel through about 20 minutes, and it's actually kind of fun after a point. There's one section that's themed, where like it's like zombie knights attacking you, or rather bugbears dressed up as zombie knights. They've really put their all into it. But eventually, you do get to the royal chambers of the Lady of Fright. The doors open and beckon you in, and as the roiling mist parts to let you in fully, you see her ladyship, tall and immense, in a long flowing red cloak covering her body. Her head, this messy bob of blue insectoid hair with these little bare antennas sticking out. Her eyes being this complex mix of reptile, mammal, and insect eye, and her mouth a tiny little slit drawn tight. She has a ruff of fur that you're not sure whether that's part of her cape or just part of her neck. And she regards you with these brilliant neon eyes.
Reed will show give a proper gesture of deference.
Mon Chair will bow.
There's a bow, yeah.
So
Yeah.
duck.
She
Art will as well.
nods and says in a voice that is barely above a whisper, and let me know if this comes in too quiet. Speak your business.
Duck, seeming a little flustered, kind of steps forward and goes, "Well, we initially came to bring word of the Red Cap menace, but we clearly saw that you seem to have that in hand.
She nods.
I am the new Grumboog. The Red Caps slaughtered him when they attacked, and he fell defending his people."
She stares at you, her expression blank and stoic, but her antenna twitch heavily at that news. I am sorry for your loss. They have made attempts on my life as well. It's clear they want us leaderless.
They had already converted the king of Dane Rouge, but we gave him his rest. We have been traveling to each of the ferry settlements we can find across the land to warn them and unite them against both the Redcaps that are prowling in the wake of the Goblin Slayer army that is amassing.
Are of the same enemies on both sides. It's
You're a-
time for these disparate clans to unite.
Could you
Oh,
Sorry,
yes,
you might have to repeat the beginning part of that.
Then we are of the same mind.
We have enemies on all sides. It is time for these disparate clans to unite.
If you don't mind my asking, we heard from some of your citizens that you're having trouble with a knuckle of V in the swamp, poisoning your waters.
She looks at you and she nods.
Yes,
Is he a
a
different?
member of the Unseelie Court has decided to take roost in my swamp, denying my people of water. It is bad enough that we must fend off these red-cap menaces, but now this squatter is taking what is ours, as if Fairyland does not give him enough.
I would like to ask you another question. Do you happen to know what his name is?
Her 4 pairs of eyelids all blink. And she nods.
He is a renowned general of the Unseelie Court. Gater Porvier is the name that I have been given. He has served several princes. So we are reluctant to deal with him with violence. But as times grow more dire, his presence is increasingly unwelcome.
He's gonna look at everybody else and go, well, even if my companions do not back me up, I am going to meet him with violence. You do not have to worry about him for very much longer.
If you are willing to...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you really want to fight a Knuckle Lviv?
It's not something I can avoid. You don't have to aid me if you do not want to. This is personal.
That
Nope,
being
sorry, but
said,
we're
it is not
right.
your fight alone.
Yeah, we're going with you, Grugan.
Besides, it's causing
We are?
problems for people.
Of course, friend Flavian. You wouldn't want this Knuckle of V to poison some of your customers, wouldn't you?
Love to
Yeah, but I also don't want it to poison me either.
Exactly.
Knuckle Lviv is like one of the most dangerous of all fairies.
I mean, that's true, but...
We too are mighty.
I was about to say, wasn't it your potions that kind of helped turn the tide against the red caps over at the Grumboogs?
Yeah, but I suppose so. But
And, oh, it will be a perfect time to test out your little buddy.
yeah, well, if we gotta, but isn't that like walking into a cloud of the plague? How are we gonna get out of this without getting all
We may have to visit
Thanks.
our florist friend for some more of those panaceas.
Yeah, it might be worth considering.
Oh, my lady, there is one other consideration that were sent to ask you about. And this was before we learned about the encroaching, the encroacher. In our travels, we discovered in a town of Banshees, it wasn't the Banshee town, right?
Yes, it was the Banshees.
We discovered a child Knucklevi and we were asked to travel to you and ask if you would take her under your protection. If I'm remembering the side quest correct.
Yes, you are correct. She looks at you, cocks her head to one side, considers. In Betelabel, we do not turn away anyone who is in need, no matter how fearsome their species. This intruder is not unwelcome because he is a Nakalevi. He is unwelcome because he is taking without asking and spoiling for others. But a child in need, we would not turn down.
Oh,
Bring
I
this
get it.
child. We shall house her well.
I see. That Knuckle of Eve is a rotten glutton. Yeah,
Precisely, friend Flavian.
let's send him to the dump.
That is the spirit. Claps
I'll
you
just
on the back.
make sure to be in back while you guys are the vanguards.
Well, of course.
If you perform this task for us, I will see you rewarded. And my people will help you with wards to protect you from the red caps and the swamps.
That would be appreciated, thank you.
Oh, you should also know we have recently made a deal with the Bramble Queen, the dragon within, to allow those of our alliance to go in within and gather ashen stakes to fight the Redcaps using the brambles.
That is good news. We would like to make an alliance with the dragon. We shall work on a tithe to give proper thanks.
That will go quite far.
Your name again? Grumbug?
I am Duck.
Duck. I think you will go far. You have the hospitality of Betelebel. Friend Duck. Grumbu.
And you have the hospitality of my stronghold should you ever visit, you and your people. Duck kind of takes a moment to realize, oh shit, I have a stronghold.
Yeah, you actually have a home. You might have to pay taxes.
In less
Oh, no.
turbulent times, I will take you up on that offer.
All right. Sounds like we start making preparations before heading out. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gonna hit up the Fear Facer then.
Oh, by the way, very lovely house you have here. Absolutely enjoyed it.
Oh, good. Many guests don't like how narrow the hallways are. Then how would things pop out at you and make it surprising?
Exactly. It was wonderful. Thank you.
If you want a quick way through, I can have one of them show you the stage exits, but it's much more fun to go the normal way.
I'm gonna go the looks at the crew. I'm gonna go the normal way.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna follow you.
Gotta make a good impression.
Also, it's just
Yeah, I
fun.
guess we're doing
Aren't-
this.
It's like going through a haunted house. It's great. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't I?
Yeah, I said it in chat, but Duck's feeling what people felt for Lady D from Resident Evil. He's like, oh,
No worries.
So we're going to the Fear Facer. Did she say who was going to give us these enchantments, or is that for later?
You're giving them on the way out. Wards to help you basically sense and repel the presence of red caps. So basically, there are no necessary red cap fights for you this session.
Okay.
That's what they want us to believe.
All right, some of you are going to the Fear Facer.
I'm just following Sir Reed to see where he's going.
Oh.
Stupid frog thing.
No.
How all those memes go. It's like, oh no, I'm being chased. Oh no.
I just love the one comic that's just a person going,
Yeah.
as Lady D chases him. I'm gonna get you.
You aren't supposed to be enjoying this.
Oh, we didn't ask about who the weird child was. Oh, speaking of children, if we transport the Knuckle-V, this will be the third child we've transported.
Yeah. There's been a lot of child rescuing in Currents of War.
It's like war puts children in danger or something.
Yeah, true.
Hello, who's that?
So when you go to the Fear Facer, there's a little bell and you knock on it, and out from inside emerges a humanoid figure with skin that looks less like skin and more like melted candle wax. Her face is a sort of shifting blob and a rough humanoid look. I mean, it's got two eyes and a smile, but it looks again like someone was just molding half melted candle wax into a vague approximation of the human form. And as she looks at you, that little slit in her candle wax head that serves as a mouth opens, like sort of stretches open with little strings snapping, and then congealing into sharp little teeth. Oh, hello! Welcome to the Fear Facer!
Reed will take off his helmet and show off his own very muddy face.
Another doppelganger!
Ah, not quite, I'm afraid.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting another doppelganger. Oh, not quite. A doppelsalger?
Afraid not, my lady.
Oh,
I am a mudman.
oh. Okay. I've never heard of that before, but welcome to the Fear Facer! Where you confront the darkest parts of your own psyche. And as she says that, a bugbear emerges, walking on 8 stumpy reptilian legs. Hey, Vanelli, what's going on out here?
What are you doing here, Mega Kaiju?
Wilcast, we have some guests at the Fear Facer. They want to face their fears and prove they have a brave heart. Well, hey, come on in.
Yeah, hold on a second. What do we get from facing our fears anyway?
Bravery, confidence. You know, when you take the things that have been scaring you your whole life and you look them in the eye, you can realize they're not that big. And then suddenly you find the ability to take on what scares you shitless.
Yeah, I see. So nothing of any real value.
Well, specifically, if you manage to succeed the 3 willpower checks that you do when you go through the Fear Facer, you will get a conditional bonus to any skill checks made to do something that scares you, which, in terms of terminology, is very good wiggle room to give yourself a bonus to a skill check. Now, that said, you must make 3 successive willpower checks, and I'm going to post this in the general in the shit talk, I guess.
My will sucks.
The first one is 10, the first one is 12, and the last one is 14. Each successful check gives you a +2 bonus to any skill checks made to do something that scares you.
So a cumulative 6 if we pass all 3.
Yep.
My will. 6.
Well, I'm game. If you guys are game, this will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
My will is a 6.
Yeah, mine is about the same. Let me double
Don't you guys
check.
have
spend,
some potions? Don't you guys have some potions that boost
Yeah, I was gonna
things up
say.
temporarily for a scene?
Yes.
I would
That'd
allow
be
you to
great.
use that.
I've got a 10. Let's do this.
Yeah, mine is the potion. The elixir I have is insight, but my willpower's okay.
So what are these? Would any of you be willing to lend some of those potions?
I think I've
However many we have.
I've only got the one, so I would have to drink it.
Yeah, save it for yourself then. I was wondering if we had any spares.
I don't think
Yeah,
I have
I
any.
didn't take any of the wisdom ones.
Yeah, I didn't have any. So we're going in dry, guys.
Oh no.
But before we do that, Flavian, is I didn't come here for any material gain. However, to put things into your perspective, imagine fortifying your entrepreneurial spirit.
I think seen BRB'd.
Damn.
That always
I'll kill
happens.
them.
Damn you, see.
Oh yeah, when we were talking about revenants earlier, that reminded me. Ross still owes me a hand of glory from all those revenants that nearly ate us.
He does, to be fair.
I think this is going to be fun. I'm
Well-
curious to see how a skeleton gets scared.
Hyenas,
What's a hyena?
These scaring skeletons.
lamagears.
Technically, it'd be a Lucrota.
But yes, I'm sorry to disappoint you, miss. I am neither of those things you mentioned. Though it is nice to meet someone else with a fluid anatomy.
Yeah. Yeah, are you also struggling with making a face?
Yes.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, it's really easy to just sort of copy someone else's face, but to make your own face, whew. Why did I become Southern? I think I was Irish earlier.
It's fine. Her face is fluid, and so is her voice.
To be quite frank, yeah, actually, it does make sense for a doppelganger.
Yes, it's the damnedest thing to try and settle on a single face.
Yeah.
I don't really have one anymore. The cart's just gonna go in on
Ooh,
that
I could
note.
try that. And then her face compresses in as if molded by unseen hands until it takes on a skull shape. What do you think?
Oh, that
Oh,
is
dang.
most well done.
That's a good one. I like it.
Not
What
bad,
a
it's
fine
not bad.
talent.
Ah, and then it pops back out into a glob.
Can
Oh,
do
hard
that
to
just from
retain,
will
though.
alone?
A little bit. It's easier when you're imitating someone.
Yeah.
I'm afraid for my purposes I can copy none of my company, though I'm sure they would volunteer.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to, you could wear my old face. I remember it well enough.
Ah, but that is your own.
Or, like, Reed, buddy, friend of mine. I'm talking about my face when I was a proper human.
I know, but that is yours face alone.
It's gone. You can have it now.
It's like under his breath, Druid's like, he's not using it anymore.
Exactly. I'm not using it anymore. You can have it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the maggots that ate it are. As are the birds that ate those maggots. As are the cats that ate those birds.
Yes, I recognize that, but I'm already living in the shadow of one man. Going
wouldn't-
forward, I would like to carve my own way.
Fair enough. I
So-
think Art's gonna go step into the fear factor face or whatever.
Yes. Be brave.
Is this,
Oh, what's the worst that can happen? I'll get scared.
I'll do this at once or in order.
Let's do the 10 check first. See who gets a +2 for the 10 check.
Okay. I am gonna drink the thing.
Come on, Duck.
Nope. I am very curious what everyone sees.
Ooh.
Nope.
Art.
Oh, just made it. Whew.
Okay.
Can I spend a fabula point to reroll one of them?
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll. both
Why is
of
it
them.
rolling d8s?
That's alright.
Reroll that one.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll both of them.
Hey, weird question.
Yeah.
My willpower's a d10, but when I press willpower plus willpower, it rolled d8s.
Oh, I rolled
You still have a
e-rolls.
status condition?
You might have a status condition on.
No, there's nothing on. The only status condition I have is weak, which was might.
Then
Turn it
I
off
would
real
blame
quick.
Satan.
Ah!
Yeah, I rolled even worse. So Gruen just like not paying attention.
Yeah,
much.
there we go. Now it's rolling d10s. Still
Rugen,
didn't
what's
get
the-
it.
Who all failed the 10 check?
It was me
It was me.
too.
Was
Moshe,
I?
Grugan, and Art, what are the third scariest things that you can think of?
Shit, I can't fucking think of anything that would scare Grugan besides, the fucking Knucklevi.
Dead children, perhaps?
Yeah, dead children.
This is your fault, Grugan.
Yeah, he's gonna see that.
You
and he's
killed
gonna
us.
Turn right around and go back out the door. I know.
Yep.
What
Art,
was the
third
second
scariest
one?
thing you can think of.
Third scariest thing I could think of, scorpions.
All right. As you are walking through here, you suddenly get the sensation of crawling on your legs, and you look down and you see just dozens of scorpions crawling up your legs. Their pincers occasionally nipping at your flesh, and even though you're a corpse, you can feel it. Their stingers poised.
I'll do it again afterwards, after we fight the Knucklevi, but nope, I'm good, bye.
Moncher, what's the scariest thing you can think of? Third scariest.
One day, years ago, he encountered a mysterious creature. It was tall, with these odd-looking antlers, perhaps even taller than some houses. It charged at him. He booked it out of there. Moncher met a moose.
I mean, that is pretty fucking scary.
Especially since they don't live on this continent.
Exactly.
A
How'd they get
thunderstag.
here?
See, I-
Thunderstag tried to kill you.
He swam.
I thought it was like a giraffe by that description, and I'm like, yeah, that would be terrifying, actually.
I thought it was the Hurlewin from No Small Feat, just looking for his lantern again. It's always misplacing that thing. All right, those of you who passed, you can tell me your third scariest thing and how you can find it if you wish, or we can move on to roll number 2.
Lavian sees an empty wallet. But he remembers where there's a will, there's a way. And even if his wallet is empty, he has the ability to make more money.
Good. Good. Awful,
Genuinely
actually.
fucking hilarious.
I think his third greatest fear would be as Reed walks into the darkness, he blinks and suddenly he is back into his previous stature as a little mudman in the court, flopping about, trying to carry a tray, only to trip and spill
Aw.
to the mockery of everyone in the court.
Aw. Sad. All right, any others, or are we moving on?
I think Ducks would be the recurring dream she's had where she's being banished by her former, the Unseelie member she was pledged to.
Mm-hmm.
Just reliving that night. But now she has the weight of iron shoes on her feet, and she's way past that, so...
All right. Roll number 2, difficulty of 12. Also, everyone who succeeded, you get a +2 to any fear-related willpower. You have any fear-related check, which I guess
Come on.
technically this would count as.
Oh, really?
Really? Okay.
+2, you said?
+2.
Need it because I blew my 12 on that first one.
Ooh, 16.
Oh.
All right, Flavian, what's the second scariest thing you can think of?
Flavin, you could try a Fabula point.
You could.
That's true. Just gonna try to willpower through it and re-roll. I'm gonna keep the 5, but I'm gonna re-roll that one that was a 3.
All right.
Oh, that
That's
only
a
puts me at
12.
11.
Do you want to
Oh,
invoke
yeah, it
a
would be-
bond?
What's that?
Do you want to invoke a bond? It'd be
Do it.
another Fabula point,
Oh.
but
Yes, actually, because this then relates directly to the fear that I had. So yes, I am gonna invoke my fear of Ross, or my bond with Ross Weber. Fear. Yes, and that would put me at 14.
all right.
Yeah. Because the
Excellent.
fear Flavian sees is that it's a contract that
Mhm.
burdens him for his life to servitude to Ross Weber.
Wow.
Oh God.
We're gonna make a killing, Flavian!
But Flavian
I can't wait.
realizes every contract has holes in it.
What? No! Undone by bureaucracy, the scourge of all capitalists.
Duck's second biggest fear is actually falling into the Formian,
For me.
the falling into its prison, the one she encountered when she was escaping Fairyland.
Yeah. That would be fucking
But-
terrifying.
But much as she did, she managed to avoid it, and she just is like, "Oh, I'm not liking this trip down memory lane." But she's soldiering on.
All right.
I think Reed's second greatest fear would be a follow-up to the last one. He is, after shaming his wizard creator and before the whole court, he's being led by the wrist. He's being told he's such a disappointment and can't be stomached anymore. Gonna put his parts to better use.
Jesus.
But he
Excellent.
finds
Getting
he finds the
recycled.
resolve and manages to slip away out of that grasp.
Like mud through
All right.
fingers.
Well, a +2 again, for a total of +4 against any check that is made that you would, in a situation where you would be scared shitless to do it.
So this still count because this
Which
is
goes
funny.
for our final roll where you want to get 16. Or sorry, 14.
Woo!
Jesus.
Oh, there we go.
Damn,
Woo!
Flavin.
Second critical success.
You brave little fuckers.
Oh, I will spend a fabulous point to reroll that one.
Don't roll another one. Oh, damn, nice.
Hey.
Hey, let's go.
All right. What are your three? What are the worst fears of the three of you?
I think Duck sees herself as one of the new hands of Rawhead,
Mm-hmm.
and attacking the rest of her group. Well, probably the Black Swan watches.
Yep.
What a freak, that black swan.
And how do you defeat the sphere?
I think she takes a piece of the bramble that she took so long ago and stabs the vampire that was the red cap that was trying to turn her.
All right, as you go to stab it, the red cap suddenly backs off. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa! Don't touch him, scare actors.
Oh, oh, sorry,
Whoa.
I was messing around with my imagination and things got real.
You got it happens. Just whoa, woo!
I'm gonna see myself out. Good job.
Yep, good job. All right, who next wants to confront their worst fear? Or describe confronting it?
I'm curious what Flavian has to say.
Right?
Right.
Flavian sees. I think the best way to describe it. Flavian sees what maybe is a memory, maybe not. But it seems there's a little kid at a table. Almost looks a bit like Flavian. He's clawing at the table, miserable, his stomach growling. There's a woman not that far away, but she's slumped over, as if gone. Flavian just hears the little version of him, his stomach growling more and more. And before Flavian can succumb too much to this vision, he reminds himself that didn't happen. It never happened, and he's going to make sure it never happens. And pulls himself out of the vision.
That's beautiful. And finally, Sir Reed.
Mm-hmm. What he sees is not a fantasy, but more of a memory. For not too long ago it happened. Little Reed. It is late at night in the swamps, these very swamps, in fact, where Reed is chopping up a wood for lumber in order to feed the fire of Sir Reed, the real, true Sir Reed. The little mudman is humming, off tune, off kilter, but it makes him happy. When there's a deep and monstrous growl as a tower of steel lumbers over, huffing and growling and cursing, and wrenches the axe from his hand. And it menaces him. It keeps barking and barking about how annoying he is, how insignificant he is. And as he's stumbling away, trying to get away from this clear monster, he trips again over a branch, and he comes head first into a pond. And when he wrenches his head out of it, he doesn't really see. Instead of there being ripples, it's a clear pond that should reflect something, but it's not. He sees nothing. All he can think of is the fact that he is nothing. He is nobody. No one's going to care about him. No one's going to miss him.
And how do you defeat this fear?
I think he gets up. He looks at this monstrous figure that's practically looming over the trees now. Blade gigantic. And he says to himself, more or less, is like, yeah, like death does scare him, and yeah, maybe one day people will forget about him, but he's not going to go out like this. He's not going to die without putting some good into the world. And as this blade comes down, which should be which is the size of a fucking horse, despite his tiny little mud body, he manages to catch it. Wrenches it out of the giant's grip and turns it around.
Fuck yeah. Alright. You all emerge from the Fear Facer tents, braver, with a nice juicy bonus that's got very liberal conditions on being applied. And you see the bugbear massaging the shoulders of the doppelganger, who pats her stomach and says, "Ah, that was a good meal."
You said you were a doppelganger?
Aye, a doppelganger.
I'm not familiar with your kind.
Well, we're a sort of vampire, I suppose. We feed on dread and anxiety and feelings of fear primarily. It's pretty hard making surviving off of that without making a lot of enemies, but my friend here helped me figure out a way to do it without hurting people too much. Even helping them in a way.
Effective.
Yeah, it was fun.
I would say that was indeed helpful.
We bugbears know, but it's a lot of fun getting scared in the right context. So when I heard about her problem, I was just like, shoot, we can help you figure that out.
You have a noble soul about you.
Oh, shucks, I just do what anyone else would do, I think. Help someone out, make sure they're not starving. You know, when people are starving and desperate, that's when they act out. So it's in everyone's interest to be kind, help each other out.
If only more had your outlook.
Yeah. It'd be a nicer place for everyone, I think.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and they both give you a warm, heartfelt smile. And so, 3 of you have made it through the Fear Facer.
Again, sorry about the whole near stabbing thing.
It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Although the fact that it was Hawthorne really scared me. I'm not sure if that works on doppelgangers, but we're like we're like vampires in other enough ways where it probably could have.
I mean, it's getting stabbed with a wooden stake. Not many things can really handle that. Just in general.
Not a lot of things can survive that. Yeah.
So maybe just put a little rule. People leave their belongings at the desk before they go through. Cause,
yeah, that'd probably be smart. Probably smart. Maybe we should have an extra disclaimer that it's all an illusion. Don't get too wrapped up in things. Gotta admit though, you and me both experienced a lot of fear in that moment, and it was very nourishing.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know you could be nourished by your own fear.
You can. It's not the best, but like when you mix it with someone else's, it goes very well.
With valor in his heart, Sir Reed finally feels ready and worthy enough to whip out Durandal and make it his main weapon.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well, think that means
Not
we're
gonna
ready to go to the swamp.
Hey, Grugan, we're gonna go meet your boss.
Yay! I'm gonna go kill my boss, which is everybody's, fantasy.
The
Like how
American
we're fighting
dream.
the boss. That was somebody's boss.
As you wander through the swamps of the Brior Marsh, you feel the talismans that you've been given by the people of Betelabel sort of glow and pulsate against you, signaling that redcaps, or some vampires at least, are near. And eventually, standing in the murky swamp water, you do find 5 redcaps that have not noticed you. And they're talking to themselves. You just have to go forward. We just have to go forward. We can... They heard us. He heard us. He heard us. Yes, yes, yes. But we aren't like that anymore. We can hurt him back. We can finally hurt him back. He hurt us. He hurt me. He hurt me. But we're strong now. We're different. Just this internal dialogue being acted out by these 5 little puppets.
Looks to Grugan.
I'm gonna move forward into their line of sight.
They all stop, and eerily in unison, their heads crane to look at you. And then their little red eyes narrow. Oh, it's all of you.
Hi.
You'll want to be getting out of my way. I'm here for the Nuckelavee, not you. Move.
Their eyes blaze beneath their red caps as they all shout in unison, "No, he will not join your cause. He will not fight on your side."
He's not going to. I'm gonna put him in the ground where he belongs.
They stop. Blink in unison. Oh! Then they look at each other. That would solve some... Yes! Alright, please, at your leave. That way. And they all point towards this, section, down here-ish.
He's gonna, stare at them as he walks by.
They smile in a way that doesn't... They can't smile in a way that feels genuine to you.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, this guy's kaiju size.
Yep.
And eventually you find an old ruined castle, and standing there, towering over it, is a massive figure of a horse and rider. At least that's what your brain it as at first. The horse's neck is disproportionately long and crooked, and beneath its armored helm, you see just this mangled, rotten horse skull. It has one single blazing eye in its 2 sockets. Just in the right one, it looks like. Its hooves, when they appear out bombarding of its horse armor, are attached to these rotten, gnarly-looking legs. Some of the hind pair of which have these big, equally rotten, decaying fins, like those of a fish. Its tail also has a ragged fin. And then the body sticking out of its back, without legs, as if it's just growing out of the middle like a tumor, is this gangly, long-armed monstrosity with a round helm that covers its head and neck in a way that makes them sort of indistinguishable, with 2 eye holes, only one of which has a blazing eye emerging out of it. The pauldrons of this monstrosity are covered in chains, at the end of which dangle meat hooks, some of which have clearly been used on people before because you see scraps of human skeletons attached to them. Well, comes a seeping, slithering voice from the Nuckelavee. Rugen, finally obeying your summons, are you?
I'm obeying nothing. I came to see why you're bothering the people of the nearby settlement.
Why to meet with you? I would have met with you in the fields of Desolé, but I was driven out by a oddly strong woman on horseback. But I knew you would be coming here eventually. Now we can finally chat.
Chat, yeah, sure. What do you want?
Your help in the war effort. The Unseelie court has taken note of this human impudence. And while it is currently directed at exiles, we can see that their ambitions grow stronger by the day. And while the Queen of Night has not yet authorized us to strike back time, if we were to have the word of one of her formerly trusted soldiers, Honorable Rugen, then perhaps she would give us leeway, join the fighting full, and teach these rowdy men where their place is in the food chain.
I'm sure
do you
that's not
say?
actually what you are going to tell her, and it's not actually what you want. I'm going to
but
stop this war my way. I am not going to help you slaughter people.
Come now, Grugan. Haven't you seen the devastation? The lives lost? Weren't you hiding in Skullcrack? They didn't fare so well, I hear. The humans went after, and not just the men, like you'd prefer, but the women, and the children, and the elder. They are honorless curs, and it's time we fought them in kind. We could bring the full force of the Unseelie army, and likely the Seelies as well, for they wouldn't want to fall behind, and remind these mortal scum where their place is.
And I'm sure that you would stop at just the ones that are fighting.
No,
Like you
no,
did
not at
before.
all. We will raise Morrigal to the ground, so that it forever serves as a reminder of what happens when humans think themselves equal to the Fae.
Absolutely not. You will not get my cooperation to do that ever again.
Still haven't outgrown wretched little standards have you? Mon, you were a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. So many human men failed before your blades. Old, young, the rich and the poor, you slaughtered them all like we're of the same.
They were the ones that chose to fight. They met me on the battlefield where fighting belongs. You would have me march into villages and kill everybody there regardless.
Yes, that is the idea.
I will not.
You're just no fun at all.
I'm not here to have fun.
Well then. If you will not support me in my cause, then I suppose there's only one way this can end.
You could always leave.
Roll initiative.
Alright.
Okie dokie, Artichoke. Time to. Oh, we got a boss theme. Sweet.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna end in a boss fight. That's why I was like, do you guys want to do this or not?
Where's this song from?
This is
Hell yeah.
from Persona 4 Arena.
Okay.
Okay, so where is initiative?
It is
There's-
specifically fighting game music. So hopefully we'll have the nice appropriate beat.
And run to the bathroom quick.
Alright.
Can you go away, Katie? I'm trying to fight a giant horseman.
Who do you
Had a
think?
lot of fun with his design.
It's freaking terrifying. I hate.
So when they speak, are they speaking with the human head or are they alternating with the horse head?
I like to think alternating is what they generally do. You know, or they might focus on one head if it feels more appropriate for the conversation. And they might speak with both at the same time if they really want to drive a point across.
Alternating seems like that's what they would do to unsettle people.
Yes, that's why I say that's their standard.
Yeah, Sir Reed, what is your actual defense?
My defense is nothing to write home about, but I have bonuses for getting damaged. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to damage me. I want him to. I want him to
Has
try.
anybody gone yet?
Not yet.
No, because it's technically Vanakkalavi's turn. I just wanted to wait till everyone was here.
Okay. Before it
Because
goes
I have-
then, can I use high speed?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to use the hinder action, aiming to inflict slow. Flavian's going to try to spread fresh water around the battlefield.
Smart.
So that I'm going to say is
Vanakkalavi.
that be an insight plus double insight or insight plus dex to do it quickly? What do you think?
I'd say insight plus dex to do it quickly, because you're not going to be able to take your time. This thing wants to kill you, and it's a giant monster.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to get over 10. Ha! Yep.
Fuck.
So that
Nice.
inflicts slow.
All right.
I can also
And slow weakens dexterity.
Yes.
All right.
I also have my thing that starts at the start of the conflict where I can spend 5 mind points for every mind point I spend. Here, I'll just pop that up.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 10 mind points and get 2. because I want to keep some of my mind points in for other things.
Okay. So to reveal one of their traits. So the Knuckle has a might of 12.
That tracks.
Luke, right?
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
okay, good. And then, do you want a trait or do you want an elemental thing?
I'm gonna ask about damage types. Let's see. I know, Duck, you have a lot of fire stuff, right?
I have one fire spell, the dragon flame spell.
Okay, what's the rest of your stuff?
Oh, can you check to see? I'm gonna guess. Well, no, we should assume that it's probably immune or absorbs poison.
Yeah,
But most of my stuff is either neutral damage, like the heavy hitting stuff, or poison. It looks like poison, earth, and bolts.
yeah, I'll ask about poison.
He straight up absorbs poison.
Okay.
All right, good show. All right. So, whose magic defense is less than 29?
You have to ask.
Do you have to ask that?
Just wanted to know. Okay. Well, for everyone whose magic
That's a
defense is
plus of
less than
16.
29,
Uh-huh.
you take 31 poison damage and have the poisoned condition and are now vulnerable to poison and dark damage.
Question. I am immune to
As you-
the status and the damage.
Not anymore.
Okay.
You have been hit by the Mortashi.
Does that help with my resisting the damage?
Normally it would, except you are now vulnerable, regardless of previous stat alignments. Mortashine is nasty.
How much
does
damage
that
was
mean? So, 31.
Yeah.
So, TT, does that mean I can? I'm not rolling this, but does that mean I can upgrade this? Because this is the one I got from the kid.
Yes.
Okay, so if I understand right, TT, so because the lily pad tunic gave me absorb poison, would that block the damage, but then I have the effect added that I'm no longer absorb poison?
I'll be nice and say that if you had block, if you had resist or immune or absorb poison beforehand, for this one attack you can do it for the damage to it.
Okay.
But the after effects will still be you are now vulnerable to poison and have the poisoned condition.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. And we're poisoned, oh boy.
So that probably helps you, Duck, because you have poison resistance, so you get to half that 31
Yeah.
this
So it
time.
goes to vulnerability, though, after it.
Yep, everyone is now vulnerable to poison.
Oh, crap.
Question.
Yep.
You might have just said this. Sorry, I was busy checking my skills. So if it was a resist a status effect, it just for this instance, it would be blocked.
Just for the damage. When it comes to getting the status effect and the vulnerability, that happens regardless. Mortashine is nasty.
Okay, it's like the badly toxic, if you will.
Yes, it is. It is. You know, this is Koga's signature move.
Ouch.
Gotcha. Okay, just wanted to be sure.
It's like those nasty things in Pokemon that are just like, you know how you're normally immune to this? No, you're not, bitch.
Well, I can go and use Pure Dust to give us all resistance to poison again.
Nice and smart.
Good.
Counter the
Okay.
mortishing dust with a pure dust.
Does that remove the poison condition too?
No, it would not cure any of the status effect. It would just make us now resist poison instead.
Nice.
And dark. Actually, that's worth noting. Also dark, just in case. And then, because it's the end of my turn, Sir Swoop deploys. So Sir Swoop will deal 20 physical damage to the Knuckle of Eve.
Nice. Get some fucking hits in.
For swoop.
Excellent. The Knuckle of E did not like that, so he's going to take a terminal swing at you, Flavian.
Oh boy.
Does 22 hit your physical defense?
It does.
Okay. Well, you take 20 dark damage.
Okay.
You
so
would if I didn't protect you.
Stop.
You're gonna take the 10 dark damage instead?
Yes, I do.
Nice. Remember that you're vulnerable to dark damage now, by the way.
The pure dust gave us resistance.
To poison.
And dark.
And
No.
dark.
Oh, damn. Then yeah, okay, good.
Pure
I
dust
assume-
has been saving our lives the last couple encounters.
Yeah.
I assume by getting hit, we reset and get vulnerable again? Or does he have to do the Mortashine attack?
He's got to do the Mortashine attack.
Okay.
Well, damn. Hachi Machi.
So-
Well, that.
Duck always wants to do Soul Steal, but she has the miasmal, which may make. Oh wait, no, he would just absorb it. So the miasmal, when it does the poison damage back, is it just pure damage or poison damage? Because might just heal him.
I'm gonna say he takes the damage.
Okay.
Just as he can, ignore your prior resistances to poison, the miasmal will ignore his.
I had a feeling, and I saw you put that in the inventory. I'm like, I should probably get that. But actually, I kind of want to cast a spell to set that up, though, but it won't pay off until my next turn. Would people mind if I set something up?
Go ahead.
What are you
Go
doing?
for it.
Oh, come on.
Could always do a fabula point.
Yeah, I'm going to fabulous point it to.
Fortunately, his magic
Nope.
defense is above a 7.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Oops.
Yeah.
I fucked up, guys.
Would have been fucking great if the dice didn't hate you for that.
I mean, how much is he off by? Could you do a bond and get that up enough, or is it still would it still be not enough?
His magic defense is in double digits, I'll say that.
Okay.
So it's higher than a 10, I'm assuming, because
Yes.
if I invoke a bond with anyone, it'd only give me 3. Okay.
This
Oh,
is,
wait. Oh,
one of the
actually-
nastier bosses you're gonna fight in this game.
I might be able to stack some effects. Hold on. I just realized I had something. Is a Knuckle of E a type of demon?
Unfortunately, no. It's a fairy.
Damn. I was wondering if it was like a demonic fairy. Okay. Because the Maleficarum would have given me +4.
Yeah, in terms
Okay.
of the usual cosmology, Knuckle of Ease would be closer to a Cthulhu than to anything demonic.
Okay. That's my turn.
Alright, neat. It's gonna take a terminal swing at Grugan. Alright, Grugan does 30 hit you.
Yeah, it does.
And that's an
All right.
even roll.
That's an even roll, so
That's-
I get a counter.
That's 25 dark damage.
Okay. Alright, once again.
Halved.
Yes, yeah, it would be halved. And I get a counter attack, so
Hot damn.
Damn, that hits.
and that's a multi 6, so since I have
Changed to yeah, it's fire damage.
yeah, I changed it to fire damage. I'm gonna use 5 mind points to do that. But I also have this. Any multi-attack I do does a lot of extra damage.
Shit.
So 10 extra damage.
At least 10 extra damage.
Okay, tell me what the total is.
Let me see here. Looks like it is. Can you not do that, cat? Sorry, my cat is bothering me. Looks like it is
Meh.
35
Total?
total, it seems like. Unless we.
Alright. Brain, do math. Okay. So he takes less damage than you would think. As if he's resistant to fire.
Okay. I can change it for a different one next time.
That was a counterattack.
Yep, which means someone has a turn.
I would like to attempt to provoke him.
Rich child.
Checking. Okay, so that's a.
Nice.
That'll
I
do.
imagine trying to intimidate a monster as big as this would count for that fear bonus.
Yep, that'll do.
He has to make a contesting might and
Might plus
will.
will. 13 does not beat 21.
I will put it into chat what provoke does.
So he's
Um,
enraged,
Mhm.
compelled to focus his attention on you.
As for what exactly ticks him off, I've already buried one monster in this mire. You'll share the same grave as one of the lowly humans you look down on.
No, no, I shall never die.
Calm down, Cobb.
And full Skeksis on us. Does 24 hit you, Sareed?
Mhm.
Okay. You take 33 physical damage as he tries to mangle you.
And then he has to take 10 physical damage from my thorns.
Ow, motherfucker! That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
And what was the total of that attack?
It was 23.
Okay.
That's such a Tom and Jerry reaction. Just
Yeah.
slap something and just suddenly have thorns.
Oh yes. He
Aw,
will
man.
purposely turn his back into the blow so he smacks the briars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gurgen, you want me to go ahead and give you that big old buff?
If you want to.
Fantastic. And by big old buff, I mean free hit. So let's see, just double checking that I'm doing everything right. So first we do Queen's Gambit. I got a high roll 0 attack on this fella with the brand new Valkyrie Lance, one of the few people I've had the chance to try this out on. That is the wrong button. If I would hit the right button...
Oh yeah, you're immune to dark damage.
I was immune, then I was vulnerable, and now I'm resistant.
Smack him on the ass.
Does a 24 hit?
The 24 hit. Yes.
So that would be 10 light damage because it's high roll plus 0. But because I proc it, I go and I spend for charging cavalry. So I'm going to spend charging cavalry here. So that means Grugan gets to do a free hit. Where the high roll is 0, but they get a +4 to their bonus roll to hit.
Nice.
So how much damage did he take?
Technically speaking, 10 light damage.
Okay, it looks worse than that.
Vulnerable worse?
Yeah, like he's a little vulnerable to that, a little weak.
So Grugan, if you would like to make a free hit,
I would. I'm going to make it bolt this time instead of fire. And the multi-6 gives me the extra 10. Unless we're doing like we did before, and because it's over 3, give it an extra 20.
I will let you have an extra 20.
So the high roll...
So what's the total?
the high roll is 0, so it would be with the extra 20, 35 bolt.
Yep.
And because I used charging cavalry, crushing chariot procs. So, hey, Grugan, it's your turn.
Wait, what was the damage?
35. Bolt.
35. 35 bolt.
Does the bolt look like it's doing the correct damage?
It looks like it's not doing as much as it should.
Okay.
Obnoxious, right?
I have one more type that I can change to, so I'm gonna try Earth this time. And it is my...
Grugan's pissed.
Yeah. And let me see here. It's another 35, but can I don't know if we've ever done this before. Can we use Fabula points to roll damage again? Like
I don't think so.
Roll that 6 again.
I don't think so. I don't think so, no. Because damage is based off of the roll that you did to begin with.
One of my class skills would proc if I
I'm gonna break your heart a little bit. He resists fire, bolt, and earth.
That's fine. At least he's not immune or absorbs it. So I'll just
yeah. He did do some between those hits. You did do some significant damage though.
Good.
It's not as significant as you might like.
That is completely fair.
Is this his turn again now?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, he really didn't like that. He rears back his horse head, and a fucking laser beam shoots out of its eye.
Oh, he's provoked still.
Yeah,
If it's single target, it has to hit me.
It's gotta go at Sir Reed, yeah. Alright. Let's do it to it. Oh, his dex is less, so... No, that's a terrible roll.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Sir Reed, does 18 hit you?
It does.
Alright, you take 22 bolt damage.
Do you have counterattack?
I do. Hell yeah.
And that was
Does
22
the
bolt
Briar-
damage.
Yep.
Does the Briar Cape work against magic, or is it just physical?
Just physical, I think.
That makes sense. You're not like Angira shooting out spines.
Yeah.
Right. So you said it's an even attack, so I can try to make a counter.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies. Let me refresh myself on what Counter Strike does. You have to treat your high roll as 0. Okay. But because I have adrenaline going, it's going to deal another 4 damage. Nice. Okay, so crunching numbers.
Damn.
So it'll be 20 light damage.
Oh, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that at all. He doesn't like that at all. He's in fucking crisis now.
How does it feel to be laid low by a mudman?
Ah!
Monsieur's turn, I think.
Yes.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Fly up in his eyes. Get his
I'm
eyes,
good.
boo.
So Reed, you mentioned wanting to breach him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I go ahead and take care of that if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
Nice.
Why don't you break his armor?
Hell yeah. Gonna spend those 5 mind points. And yeah, break that armor.
Make that attack.
Can it just be anything I attack with, or should I just roll like 2 d20s?
anything you
You have to make an free attack with a melee weapon.
Melee weapon? Alrighty then.
So your shields, they count.
Cool, 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 cool.
It is both enraged and slow, so its defense might be lower. Maybe.
Because you told me to!
Nice.
Shit. All right.
Does that hit?
You hit. Let me look at the number. Do you want to invoke a bond on that, Chief?
Yeah, I'll invoke the bond with... Let's see.
You have a 3-level bond that helpful.
Yeah, I'll invoke a level 3 bond with Grugan because he knows a thing or two about nasty ex-bosses.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Break
and
that armor.
Does hit.
Alright.
Oh god. I realized I think we might have screwed ourselves over. Now we're going to be exposed to full frontal assault of flayed Knucklavy.
Yep.
Okay. And the breach was my turn for this
Yes.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How
Just wanted to
fitting.
be sure.
Round 2 begins with his armor falling off.
So as you smack his armor hard enough to shatter, this plate falls away, exposing the rotten flesh of this monstrosity. You know, with the curdled muscles and the crusty, ragged, rotting strips of skin that barely cling to the meat they're attached to, often just sort of slawing off in strips like
Yeah.
fleshy ribbons. You see the creature's grotesque heads, one a flayed horse's skull, the other a rotten and deformed human face, as it shrieks horrifically at your impudence for trying this against him.
His turn. I
More
think.
machine time, motherfuckers. Alright, not the best roll for that. Does 26 hit everyone's magic defense?
Not the best
Yes.
roll. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. You all take 29 poison damage. have the
Resist-
poisoned condition and are now vulnerable to poison and dark damage. But of course, because did we use the miasmal?
No, I would try to set it up with the
Okay.
anomaly to make it even worse, but no.
Well, always a second chance.
Yeah, why don't you go first and hit him with that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, how
I-
much was it, the damage?
29 total.
Would it be resisted from the pure dust, but that's now negated?
Pure Dust is now negated. Well, yeah, the damage is resisted, but then the Pure Dust is negated.
Okay, what's half of 29? 14 or 15?
14.
14.
Yeah, you always round down in Fabula Ultima and everything, forever.
I'm in crisis, everybody, by 1 point.
I'm also in crisis.
Same.
What?
See, I could hit him with
That's
my
fine.
Asmo, but I'm a kleptomaniac.
Plus side, Mortasheen eats a lot of MP.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me the stats on that one if we survive, because I
Yep.
want to use that against things.
Oh, that'll be really fun to use against Rawhead.
Yeah, just imagine the emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
So, I'll defer to the group. Should I set up with the miasma, or should I try soul stealing before it dies? Because we put out a lot of damage.
Do you want a goodie, or do you want to kill him faster?
I think we'll be able to kill him if you want to steal something.
Yeah, I'd say
Okay,
goodie.
Yeah, that's a good
Can
way
I
of
use
looking
the
at it.
bonus for fighting a fear, because this is a terrifying situation?
Yep.
Okay, +6. Oh, I'm gonna reroll that one, because I don't think that's gonna work. So, another Fabula point.
Okay.
13 plus 6, 18.
That succeeds. As you reach into his falling armaments, you actually manage to snag something in his one of his pouches. That when you pull it out, it is a complete set of plate mail. With heroic filigree engraved upon it. And I'll give you the stats for that
After
when
that-
we're done at the fight.
Yeah, put that into the hammer space pocket for maybe Reed or Grugan afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Monsieur. But, okay. I took my selfish turn.
Nice.
Benefit for the party.
He's gonna shoot Sareed with an eye beam.
Oh,
Does a delicious 30 hit you, magic defense wise, Reed?
But of course.
All right. You take 30 bolt damage.
I
Let's get the counter.
are you down?
am not down. And he's not going to keep me down, because I have Durandal.
Yeah, smack him again.
I'm mad about it, fucker.
Well, you gotta make your speech.
Oh, I am not been reduced to 1 health yet.
Okay.
I thought you were doing the speech there.
Yeah, no, he's gonna have to hit me again for me to trigger Durandal.
Sir
Probably
Reed,
will,
it's
'cause
just,
of the thing you
I
got
was
him
just gonna
under, so yeah.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was just funny that his heroic speech, he just becomes much more vulgar than he's ever been.
That was a 30, Sir Reed.
Oh, that is a 30. I could hit him, counter strike.
Yes, good.
How about we do that?
Damn.
So, just 24 light damage.
That's bonkers.
Nasty light damage. He don't like it.
48? Ooh, 48 damage.
Does anybody mind if I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
By all means.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go back to Bolt, even though I know it's not gonna do anything because reasons. But
Hot damn!
so let me add
Oh, that's almost a crit.
So that would be 45 damage altogether.
Fuckity shit. That's pretty nasty, even reduced by half.
Just hit hard enough that the resistance doesn't matter.
Alright. Gonna attempt one more of these eye beams on you, Sir Reed. Does 8 plus does 23 hit you?
But of course.
Magic defense? When you take a delicious 24 bolt damage.
Yes, that would normally put him into negatives, but he's going to activate Durandal.
Yes. Yes.
Now, where was the exact, Oh yeah, in-character heroic speech about how you cannot give up. I'll have you know, I was reborn in this swamp. One man tried to kill me, he failed. You aren't going to succeed where he failed either. I set out, believing all Fae were evil, but I think at last I found one that is. You're going down.
He just cackles wickedly, but you survive thanks to Durandal. You have endured all.
Durandal lets you endure all.
Yep. It's in the name. One of you gets to go.
May I go?
Yes.
Beat his ass.
Okay, so
Gonna put him in a jar.
hell yeah.
Oh god, I'm just imagining Monchair wiggling his fingers menacingly. Nice and ripe.
Oh yeah, when the armor came off, he was just licking his chops. So I'm going to spend that 10 MP to cast Blade Storm,
Ooh.
and then I am going to give him the nice old tail swipe. Can I spend a Fabula point to re-roll that entire thing?
Yes, please.
Would that be 1 point or 2 points?
1 point. Because you can. It's your choice whether you want to roll one or both rolls,
Okay.
no matter what.
Yeah.
It's merciful like that.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Oh no. Wow.
Oof.
Wait, did it
Dang
roll?
it.
Yeah, it rolled a 6.
Yeah.
No, wait, I don't think. Oh, no, it
Literally-
did.
It literally rolled worse than before.
I'm amazed.
It's a 1, 2, 3.
Oof.
Well,
Damn. Well, it'd be
This guy's
like that.
good.
takes
Is
a,
this guy a
takes a-
villain?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Can we get a fabula point
Yeah,
for
so
him being
I
here?
will give you all a Fabula point for fighting this guy.
I mean, he is Grugan's personal villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's gonna hit. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. He's gonna hit Sir Reed with Eye of Madness.
Oh, dear.
Oh no.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, hold
So
on.
36. Does that hit your magic defense, Sir Reed?
It does.
Cool. Roll a d6.
Alrighty.
Okay. Status condition number 5. Let's look at the cheat sheet to see which one that is.
Enraged.
You are enraged. That's kind of funny because he's enraged at you. All right. That was his turn.
I think it's my go.
I think so.
Yeah, you're
Proceed.
Yours are Flavian's.
So, yeah, if anything else can go. I think I'm gonna actually do just a straight normal attack with this wonderful Valkyrie Lance.
Not enough for a critical success, but still, that's a pretty good hit.
Thanks to you guys stripping him of armor, that does hit.
Fantastic. Since that hits, I'm going to activate one of my special abilities for completing Commander. I'm going to drop Iron Forest because the lance is technically a spear weapon. So I'm going to spend 20 mind points, and if that fucker wants to cast another spell again, he's got to spend extra MP.
Damn, so what's the total damage it does now?
Oh, the damage is... Okay, so attack deals half the normal amount of damage to each of its targets. So, be 6 light damage, I think, because that was a really low roll on that.
I mean, that's doubled, though, because he's vulnerable to it.
Yes.
Yeah, so
So
12
12.
total.
Yes, so I am
Alright.
choosing spell specifically. He has to spend 10 mind points whenever he wants to cast a spell.
I think you've now made it so effectively he can't cast any more spells.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Which means that this next attack is not going to be very fun for him. Aw, jeez. Mr. Reed, he's going to swat you. Yep, yeah, that's what he's going to do. So does the
Fine.
26 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Wait.
you take 33 physical damage. And he takes how much back in
10.
return?
And I got to make another
Woo!
speech. 'Cause
Would
I
you want me
am-
to? Sorry to interrupt. Would you want me to block for that, Sir Reed? Because I do have protect.
You know what? Go ahead. Someone protects him for a change.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! All right, Moncher is going to do a nice protect for
Take
Sir
that,
Reed.
10 damage back.
All right.
Yeah, and
Beautiful.
what was the roll he did?
So 8 plus 25, so it's 33 damage.
No, I mean like,
Oh, what was
Does
his
it-
roll?
yeah,
So
the
that's 26. 26?
That-
26.
that doesn't hit, I do believe.
Oh!
Damn!
And
Yeah.
because he rolled even, I can do a counterattack.
God,
All right.
Monster diving in from the sky to block the blow.
Holy shit.
Holy shit!
What? Really?
Does that hit, TT?
Invoke a bond.
Invoke a bond!
Even with the armor gun?
It's one short.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna invoke the bond with Reed for going from mistrust to changing
Wait,
it
wait, wait,
to...
Sorry. Wrong. You're one over. You're good.
Hell yeah!
Moncher, how do you want to do this?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah!
All right, Moncher is going to drop down, blocking Sir Reed from the hit, and then wrapping his tail around the arm, he's going to pull him down and just chomp, breaking his human head and torso off the body, coming down and crashing the neck of the horse.
Magnificent.
Fuck this guy.
Fucking magnificent. The hideous body immediately begins to rot and putrefy into a pile of repulsive, fetid slime. As in death, it can no longer sustain itself. And congratulations. You have defeated Vanuckalagi.
Does this bastard get any last words in before he rots?
Not with the way he was killed, no.
Get fucked!
That's how you deserve to die, you fucking...
Whoa! Yeah,
If he had,
we really did it.
if he had survived to the next turn order, he was going to get commented.
How are you holding up, Sir Reed?
I'll live. Though, I will thank you for that intervention.
Um,
Body of a dragon, but heart of a lion. He just kind of lightly
Guys.
knocks you on the chest.
Ow.
guys, guys.
Yeah.
See several red crabs crawl into the ruin and stare at the fetid pile of putrid slime that was once the Levy. Their expression unreadable. They don't even seem to notice you're sharing the space with them. One of them reaches out and touches the slime, and they all in unison close their eyes.
They created your curse, didn't they?
The red caps snap to attention and look at you. And notably dodge the question. We owe you something for this.
I don't suppose you'd
Can't
take
make the game.
yourselves out of this forest and out of this swamp.
They look at each other.
Do not become a toxin like he was, poisoning the waters.
Too late. It's been nothing but toxicity to us for years. But we can respect that. The swamp is safe. As long as anything is safe.
Do I take
Thanks.
this to mean you are a victim of his evil?
To be a victim to still be a person. And with that, the red caps leave.
Well, I'm glad they didn't use any of the red cap vampirism stuff to take over the Knuckleaves' remains, and then we could deal with an even bigger problem.
I did consider that as a potential boss fight, but it felt too mean.
Reed hears that and he flashes Durandal. They would have been welcome to try.
Also, it would make sense if the Knuckle built in a safeguard against that,
Likely
Like-
did.
He would be that.
designed an
Yeah.
immunity.
No, I'm just imagining this rat bastard wearing shades and talking about global saturation.
Mhm.
No. No wonder I
And we
hated
punched
him.
a boulder.
No wonder I fucking hated him.
And
He had some shiny armor in his pocket.
yeah. Speaking of, don't let me forget that. You find hero's armor.
Ooh.
The armor of a valorous knight that was slain by the Knuckleavi. It's martial armor. Gives immunity to dark and resists fire, earth, wind, and ice. And it's got some other stats too.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, who wants it?
Deep.
Reed, do you have
Yeah.
magic armor yet?
I do not. I have starter armor.
I think that really fits with you and Durandal. With this
Yeah.
fight.
Especially with just how much hell you took that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Uh-huh.
Grugan's gonna pick that up, or take it from Duck and like hand it to Sir Reed, and he goes, "I think you deserve this."
Thank you.
You don't know just how much good you've done killing that thing.
It seems once again I owe much to this fateful swamp.
Grugan's gonna like kick dirt over the corpse, like, or what's left of it.
Oh, should I Dragonfire it?
The grave you deserve and the end you needed. Stay there.
Everyone just piss on his grave. Just fire, put a boulder on it, kick dirt.
I mean, what you really
everything.
should do is get somebody to,
Bless it.
detoxify his grave.
I'm mostly kicking dirt so it doesn't like leak into the water.
Because the thing about Knuckleavies is that they do not like fresh and pure water. So they either live in the sea or they live in, stagnant, toxic pools of water. Pools of water that have been befouled. And so to, counteract that, you want to purify the water that they lived in.
Excellent.
Does anybody have any ability to do that right now, or should we go back to town and tell somebody to do that?
Yeah, that might be something they'd have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or unless you have like some sort of magic stick that purifies and defeats toxins.
Oh, right. The Panacea powders, right?
Panacea powders and also the miasmal.
Okay, we'll just start going around using it like an aspergillum to start spreading the healing stuff around.
That is essentially how I view it, yeah.
And afterwards, while doing that, Reed, are you getting into the armor?
Yeah.
Afterwards, Duck would actually go up to you and goes, "Hey, can I see Durandal real quick?"
I see what you're trying to do. Hands the handle to you, by all means.
Well, way to deflate the moment, but kneel, Sir Reed.
Oh.
He didn't see what you were trying to do at all!
Takes the... Alright. Does so.
And, TT, what would be an appropriate oath for a Knight of the Mire? A Goblin Knight's oath.
This was the Blade of the Black Knight once.
Fuck, I gotta do poetry on the spot. I'm not my father. I don't know how to do this.
I was, like, I meant to look like, because I saw the oath scene from Dragonheart was recommended to me in YouTube's race.
I did make a speech a while ago. I did write up like a little speech a while ago for accepting Durandal.
I will give you okay, you'll find the speech for accepting Durandal. I have a speech that will be relevant from your end, Duck. I just gotta find the document real quick.
Because she's been thinking about Goblin Knights ever since she met Bric-a-Brac.
So, while you're not huge into knighthood, you've heard the Ballad of the Black Knight. You've heard stories. You've heard about, and ever since you met Tilda Grackle, it's been on your mind. It's especially when it was reinforced by meeting Sir Bric-a-Brac, who was also following in the Black Knight and making a Black Knight's Code, and you do recall the Black Knight's oath. And it's spoken in the first person, so you have to translate this into second person, which I'm going to clumsily do for you. This armor is not yours, this sword it was a gift. Till now you have survived another's charity and thrift. Your cowardice is gone, so let your sword be drawn for valor. You'll endure the pain, every trial and torment. You'll bear it all, never quit or relent. You'll struggle and suffer and fight to make everything right. Swear your soul to valor. Give your life for valor. Rise, valorous Black Knight.
Arise, Sir Reed, Knight of the Mire.
Gets up. Regards Durandal. I'll paraphrase the best bits of that speech since it's a little long-winded.
Mhm.
Noble Durandal, I do not claim ownership of you. You are a blade fit for kings. I ask only to be your steward for a time. To share in your powers of protection, not for my sake, but to preserve this vessel of mine so others need not suffer. If you would become my blade, I vow to wield you with wisdom, until either this war is done, or a hand, needier than mine, requires your strength.
Hell yeah.
And he will sheath it.
Or some bitch climbs up the cathedral walls and steals you out of their out of your niche. Did you ever fucking find that thing, by the way?
No, I don't. I never heard anything about a follow up on that, so I think it's just sitting in someone's like basement or some rich asshole's private collection.
May it stab them in the ass.
Well, congrats. You guys inverted the possibility of a third party entering this war and making it much, much worse.
Yeah,
Once
Duck
again.
really wants to keep the Unseelie Court out of this.
Yeah.
Especially because in their constant keeping up with the Joneses, the Sealy Court would probably enter too.
And there would be 5 armies.
It would be a mess.
It would be a true battle of the 5 armies.
Let's get back to town. It's a weight off of my shoulders for the rest of time.
And yeah, you're back in Bete-le-Belle. Any last business? Any interludes you want to have before we wrap up for the night?
Yeah, Moncher is going to change Sir Reed's bond from mistrust to loyalty. Because goddamn, that man put in work.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, same here.
I'm gonna add affection because I already had loyalty for it, which would max out the 3 for Sir Reed already.
We love that mud man.
Everybody's full already.
Not for me.
I mean, you can always put a bond with the hot, tall woman. That's what I would do.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Sorry, Sir Reed, I may have to move that affection over.
It's okay. I can't blame you.
I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
pick
gonna
the
have to-
hot, tall woman. I have one of those. It's my wife. You know what? I'm gonna put my wife. My wife's not been on my character sheet this whole time. Might as well know.
She goes invited to cookout. She's my wife. She drove me.
Very rarely, Duck is just. I think this is probably the first time Duck is like, she's big enough to hold me, and I'm not scared of that, despite the name. What am I feeling? Oh,
What is this feeling?
This is feeling sudden and new.
no, there is a little fear.
That's the spice that makes it hot.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Probably should go
Little
tell her,
bit
though.
edge of danger.
Let's just go tell her. Do.
Okay, so about a half an hour through a haunted house fun maze later, you guys go to the throne room of the Palace of Dread. Welcome back, adventurers. I am delighted to see you have returned in one piece.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. He's, not gonna bother anybody else ever again.
She waves a clawed hand, and emerging from a trapdoor in the floor, with fog surrounding it, because of course, is a large coffer filled with 20,000 zenith.
Jesus.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
She did offer a reward.
Hold on.
I'm
And
gonna give my entire portion to Sir Reed. 'Cause, Grugan just
Goddamn.
kind of figured that getting rid of this guy was just his duty. And Sir Reed said that he was broke, so...
Don't worry, he'll be broke again.
But yeah, Gurgan's gonna give his entire portion to Sir Reed and go, thank you.
Nods and accepts it graciously.
I think we get 3,333 each, or 6,666 for Sir Reed.
Wouldn't it be like it's 20,000? So wouldn't it be like
The-
4,000?
Well, divided by 6
Wait, do we have
initially,
six?
because Grugan's. giving
Would you like
his
me to make it
portion.
30,000 just so that it's more evenly divisible?
Let's say no.
Yeah.
I'll make it 30,000 so it's more evenly divisible.
Yeah. Really sorry about that, Sir Reed. I completely spaced because I didn't see you on the map for a second. I was like, okay, yeah, 5. Oh, wait.
Yeah, so that would get us each 5,000, but 10,000 for Sir Reed.
Yay, I'm no longer broke.
Woo!
I'm sorry,
probably
but I will
richer
be broke
than-
again. He will spend money on people.
That's fair.
You're probably richer than the original Sir Reed was at the time of his death.
Probably
Yeah, at the very least, more cash on hand.
more liquid, one might say.
Yeah.
Get it? Because I'm made of mud.
But speaking of, and my lady, you may wish to send some to check to see the purification has taken, but we have tried to rid the land of its rot where it died and where it dwelt, as well as seem to gain the word of the Red Caps that they will leave the mire because they had their own feud with the Knuckle of V.
She considers this. I will still send guards with my herbalist just in case. Besides, it is not just red caps that are prowling Amorogal these days.
Of course.
I thank you for this, Grumbug Duck. It was well done. You are earning your title quite well.
I wouldn't be able to do it without my companions. But thank you.
She nods. We are all of us made stronger when we work together. That is the true boogeyman spirit. A valuable lesson for a leader to retain.
I love her.
Thank you, my lady.
Once more I say you have honored us with your visit. We are glad to have you as our guests. And when we get through this war, I look forward to know you better in more peaceful times.
Duck kind of pauses at that, not sure how to react, but I would very much like that.
She nods respectfully. Her facial expressions are very hard to read because there's just not many of them. But you do get a sense of warmness from how she is regarding you. All of you, not just Duck.
Mhm.
And yeah, congrats. Betela Bell is now on your side and free to join the war effort.
And the Unseelie Court's gonna stay the fuck out.
Yep, the courts are staying out of it, which is good, because that could have gone very badly for everyone.
I would like to illustrate the world of difference my new armor makes. Previously, my defense was 14, and my magic defense was
Jesus.
8. Now my defense is 28, and my magic defense is 19.
Hell yeah.
Much
You're
better.
in that Charles zone.
Yeah, you were wearing like tin armor, and now you're like, God, the difference an upgrade will make.
I mean, can you expect a normal run-of-the-mill knight to have good enough armor to fight Knucklevies?
No.
Yeah, no. And that's good, because having done Betela Bell, next is either Leonis or Morbriere. And, you might be in for some shit when you get there.
What about sand?
There's also Vadun de Pitale.
Do we know anything
Might
about
be-
that place?
Great big fucking sand dunes. No story hooks for it yet.
Yet.
I feel like it
Beach
makes sense.
episode.
Beach episode.
That's gonna be when we go to the castle in the sea.
Oh, that's true.
That too, yes.
Like Montbriere makes the most sense for next.
Yeah, we should determine that actually.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
we have him waiting here for us, and he's been there for a very long time waiting. So
Yeah, he deserves it, you know? We can...
All right, so we're gonna see.
and we did just get paid.
Excellent, and then Leonis Van Lutetia.
yeah,
Relief him.
Yeah.
And
Duck
possibly some
skipped
side
Leonis
stops
and
on
went
the
to
way.
When Duck was heading south, she was in Leonis and then Lutetia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Morbier sounds.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gone to Morbriere because Morbriere is it's not a big city; it's a retreat for nobles.
Yeah, because she would have
Essentially, it's
skirted.
Aspen.
Yeah, she would have skirted the swamp, gone to Leonis, and then Lutetia, and then to Skullcrack.
Question.
Yeah.
The armor provides resistance to Earth. As a
Yep.
homunculus, I'm already resistant to Earth. Would that stack?
Yes, that would stack. You're now invulnerable.
Oh,
Enjoy that immunity.
oh yeah. I need to unmark that I'm poisoned.
Oh
Imagine
yeah,
you
and-
finally get through the massive health pool of all the damage resistances, and then Durandal says, nah.
Which is good that you protect, because one of those the Knuckle of Leaves lightning attacks, I was like, oh man, that would just straight up one shot Flavian at full HP.
Damn.
It would have taken out Duck at the HP she was at if any of them had hit her.
You can't kill me in a way that matters.
Okay, so maybe he doesn't have garlic growing in him, but mushrooms.
I mean,
I'm immune to 3 damage types. I'm resistant to 3
Holy
more.
shit. What?
Because the armor provides dark immunity. I'm naturally immune to poison as a homunculus.
Oh,
The
yeah.
armor provided increases my innate earth resistance. Sir Reed is going to be a very hard motherfucker to kill.
Jesus.
And you know what's the really funny bit?
Was that?
If I somehow decided I don't have any more speeches, I can still survive on 1 HP.
Oh, jeez.
Because fuck you!
Oh,
If-
you know, if I had done better with my magic, one of the fun things, because if that spell had actually worked against Knuckle, the guy, it would have. Oh wait, no. If I had hit him, it would have been really funny if I'd hit him with the Mortashine dust, and he's just like, "What the fuck? Now I'm poisoned? What?"
Yeah. Also, good to know. I should give you full Mortashine.
Also, would the eye beam also count as a spell? Because I don't think I have a bolt. That
it
might be
would.
useful.
Want to put this in loot box?
Oh, actually, I do have bolt. I have the Thunder Wave from the Valkyrie.
Also, should I stop recording?